Hello everyone, and welcome to Hey You Guys. Suicide Squad has divided critics, and whilst it's still a little too soon to say whether or not the DC Comics adaptation will be embraced by fans, there's no denying that there's a lot to love in the big screen debut of Task Force X, no matter how many times the movie may stumble. With fanboy David Ayer at the helm, there are a lot of great Easter eggs in Suicide Squad for comic book readers to enjoy, not to mention some amazing moments which either deserve extra attention or point to what's next for these villains in the DC cinematic universe. What you'll find here then is a breakdown of the biggest and best Easter eggs, along with a look at the scenes which you really should have taken note of, especially if you're curious about the future of Task Force X. Needless to say, potentially major spoilers for Suicide Squad follow from this point on. Number 10. Robin. Most of the members of Task Force X are introduced through some nifty graphics, which come up on screen listing the attributes, past crimes, and skills of each character. However, look closely during Harley Quinn's short montage, and you'll see that she's named as an accomplice to the murder of Robin. This is obviously a reference to the defaced costume we saw in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and confirms that the Joker is responsible for murdering the Dark Knight's sidekick. However, Harley being present for that is definitely new, as she hasn't actually been credited and created when Jason Todd was killed in the comic books. Number 9. Deadshot takes on the Batman. Thanks to some revealing set photos, we've known for a while now that Batman would show up in Suicide Squad to chase down Harley Quinn and the Joker. However, the Caped Crusader confronting Deadshot definitely came as a surprise. The scene itself is far too brief. Seeing Ben Affleck and Will Smith sharing the screen in a movie like this deserved a bigger moment, but it's still an undeniably cool and fun little fight scene. The interesting thing about this though, is when the members of Task Force X are shown their ultimate desires, Deadshot isn't being reunited with his daughter, it's being the one who kills the Batman. Number 8. Harley Quinn's Jester outfit. Eagle-eyed fans spotted Harley Quinn's Jester outfit in one of the early trailers for Suicide Squad, as it could be seen among her gear she was rooting through that had been returned to her and the rest of the team before their first mission. However, it's fair to say that none of us expected to see the character actually wearing the iconic costume, making it all the more surprising when Margot Robbie dons it in order to share a dance with the Joker. This scene pays homage to not only Harley's first appearance, but the now famous Alex Ross illustrated cover of Paul Dini's Batman, Harley Quinn. Expect this to live on forever in GIF form. Number 7. The fastest man alive. Jai Courtney's Captain Boomerang could do with a little more screen time in Suicide Squad, but this scene still stands out as a highlight. What non-comic book fans may not know, however, is his arch nemesis is in the source material from The Flash, a character we actually get to see on screen here in a blink and you'll miss it cameo. While the big screen version of the villain doesn't have much history with the Scarlet Speedster beyond apprehending him, this scene may very well be setting up another confrontation for somewhere down the line, and that would be great fun to see. As things stand though, this surprise was still fantastic. Number 6. Deadshot Unleashed. Suicide Squad features a lot of very cool action scenes, but it seems fair to say that we have Deadshot to thank for the vast majority of them. The shot of him standing atop a car, gunning down monsters in the Midway City is a definite highlight, but also any time we see the villain don that mask is something of celebration. Of all of the characters in the movie, Deadshot is perhaps the most well-fleshed, and that makes it easy to invest in his story of the hitman and devoted father. Another cool Easter egg comes from when the graphic introducing him recreates the famous comic book cover above. That's something that fans definitely appreciated. Number 5. Nods to the comic books. We've already pointed out some cool nods to the source material in Suicide Squad, but the best arguably comes from when David Ayer pays homage to the work of John Ostrander. He's the man who took this team of monster hunters and made them into the criminal task force they're now famous for being, whilst he also co-created Amanda Waller and completely overhauled Deadshot. The scene where Captain Boomerang convinces Slipknot to do a runner is lifted straight out of his Suicide Squad run, though the latter loses just his hand there rather than his head. Ayer also pays tribute to the writer by naming a building after him in the movie. Number 4. The soundtrack. Now, Suicide Squad was not well received by critics, but how anyone can say that the movie doesn't have a killer soundtrack is beyond comprehension. Whilst the first half of the movie admittedly jumps from track to track, perhaps too quickly, The chosen songs mesh perfectly with the action, and it's a shame that the second half of the film relies on a more conventional score. David Ayer picks a great mixture of modern songs and well-known classics, and whilst his soundtrack probably won't give Guardians of the Galaxy a run for its money, it's still fantastic. Number 3. Batman vs Amanda Waller. Suicide Squad number 10 features one of the most memorable moments from that series, when Batman comes face to face with the Wall. Thinking he has the upper hand on Amanda Waller, the Caped Crusader threatens to expose Task Force X unless she shuts it down, but the villain quickly turns the tables when she reveals that she knows Batman's secret identity and will expose it to the world. David Ayer recreates this iconic moment in the movie, albeit with some Justice League setup too, as we see Bruce obtaining files on Aquaman and the Flash. Something tells us that this is not over. Number 2. The Joker. In recent interviews, Jared Leto hasn't seemed pleased that his performance of the Joker in the film was so heavily edited. That's perfectly understandable in all honesty, and there's no denying that the clown prince of crime does not get anywhere near the volume of screen time he deserves. Regardless, the actor still manages to impress, and it's fair to say that Suicide Squad truly whet the appetite for his character to make a big return further down the line. Number 1. Possible sequel setup. The ending of Suicide Squad definitely leaves the door open for Task Force X to return, but it also leaves us with a lot of questions. Will the Joker and Harley Quinn go after Batman in his upcoming solo film? Did the rest of Task Force X somehow escape when she did? Was the confrontation between Batman and Amanda Waller a sign that we're getting a Justice League vs Suicide Squad movie? Now, don't expect answers to any of these questions for a few years, but seeing more of these characters is a must, regardless of where they show up. Suicide Squad is certainly on its way to being a hit, so that's a really good start. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Suicide Squad, so please do leave a comment below and let us know how you responded to the film. Perhaps you have your own ideas how these characters can appear in future films. If so, let us know. As always, follow us on Twitter at HeyUGuys, and be sure to check us out online at HeyUGuys.com. Thank you very much indeed for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!